Hey everybody, it's Year, Peacekeeper coming at you with the next video in our How to Play series on the Japanese Destroyer line. This is the Tier 4 Isokaze class of destroyers. The Isokaze class consisted of 4 planned and completed destroyers. That would be Isokaze, or Wind on the Beach, Amatsakaze, or Heavenly Wind, Hamikaze, or Coastal Wind, and Tokitsukaze, Timely Wind. All 4 were completed before the end of World War II in 1917, and the Isokaze class was a slightly larger version and updated version of the Umikaze class. It boasted much better speed, better power, more torpedoes, and a uniform main battery. The Isokaze class was the first class of first-class destroyers designed to increase the Imperial Japanese Navy's destroyer numbers. In terms of service history, although all 4 were completed before World War I, it does not appear that their service histories involved much excitement. Tokitsukaze was sunk when she split in 2 off the coast of Kyushu in 1918. She was raised up, rebuilt, and recommissioned. She would go on to be used as a training ship at the Imperial Japanese Naval Academy at Edojima. All 4 were retired in April 1st, 1936. In terms of their in-game gameplay, this is the first Japanese destroyer to be majorly affected by the changes of the Japanese destroyer split. Her main battery reload was increased to 12 seconds base, her torpedoes had their speed cut, the damage reduced, but the reload time was slightly decreased by 5 seconds. Her HE damage was cut by 15%, and her fire percent chance went from 8% down to 7%. And the reasons why may escape some players that remember the old Isokaze, but for those of us who were paying attention to the server-wide stats and have played the ship, we all know that this ship was incredibly strong at the time and vastly outperformed her Russian and US destroyer counterparts. Overall, though, she still remains a very strong and capable ship with good maneuverability, workable torpedoes, okay guns, and still very solid concealment. In fact, at this tier, she still boasts the best concealment of any of the 4 destroyers. And that's without Concealment Expert. And her torpedo play is still very, very strong in spite of the decrease in damage and the decrease in the speed of the torpedoes. Sure, it's not quite, old Umikaze levels of stupid how easy the torpedoes were to use, but at this tier, there's still enough people running around where the WASD hacks haven't kicked in, and the ship is still very strong, as I'll show you in the battle video. Let's go over her stats. In terms of survivability, she has 10,300 hit points, next to no armor. Her main battery consists of 420mm 40 caliber guns. Their reload is 10.8 seconds with basic firing training. She does have a 9.1 kilometer range. The torpedoes, she has 6 of them in 3 double launchers. They have a 7 kilometer range with a 57 knot top speed. She does have 2 of the 40mm Type 91s for anti-aircraft defense. And unfortunately, at Tier 4, she will see aircraft carriers, and unfortunately, her AA is basically non-existent. In fact, you can see the range is 2 kilometers and only 13 damage. In terms of maneuverability, her max speed is 34 knots. Her turning circle radius is 530 meters, with a rudder shift time of 2.7 seconds. Her detection range by sea is 5.9 kilometers, and her detection range by air is 2.9 kilometers. In terms of the upgrade slots, Main Armaments Mod 1, that's going to become the standard here. And then Propulsion Mod 1, this decreases the chances of your engines becoming incapacitated, and it decreases the time it takes to repair the engines if they do get incapacitated. When combined with preventative maintenance, this can make your engines very difficult to take out, which is a good thing on a destroyer because it happens way too often. Anyway, enough of me blabbering on. Let's dive right on into the battle video. Alright, so this battle is going to come out to be about 67,400-ish damage. Not a huge damage number game. It's certainly not over 100,000, which would be accomplishable with the Isokaze. However, this does show some of the more strong suits of the class, and I think that is a much better representation than just, hey guys, look at my big, 100,000 damage game in a tier 4 destroyer. No, instead, I wanted to use this video to kind of talk more and more about using your map awareness, and this is a perfect map to do it on. If you're going to choose the direction that I'm going to choose to go south, it comes with several caveats. There are 3 destroyers on each side. They have 2 Isokazes and a Dertski. We have a Dertski, an Isokaze, and I'm not sure what the other destroyer was, but the Dertski is going to come help me down here in the south. Now on this map, if you've played this map enough times, you know that enemy destroyers almost always go, right along that in the U-shaped part. They always stay to the south. They always go to the south, try and go west. They're trying to get around any ships that, stay more towards the middle of the map. And it's just so commonplace that, it's not a big deal if you know it's coming. And this is something that, as a Japanese destroyer captain, you're going to have to get used to, because you're not going to win a close-in gunfight with another destroyer without support. And to complement and to deal with that, you're going to have to, 1, complement your friendly destroyers and assist them. So this Dertski and I are going to be the ones that go over to this area, and we're going to go and we are going to, deal with whatever comes up that way. But furthermore, you're going to have an escape route pre-planned to deal with these ships, especially if you run into the gunboat DD. When we talk about contesting caps, like, oh, well, the role of a destroyer is to contest caps. No, the role of the U.S. destroyers is to contest caps. The Japanese destroyers are intended to harass and delay the ability of other destroyers to get to the cap and hold it. That's not to say that they can't contest caps. Certainly, a Kazuki at tier 8, she can certainly do it. Shiratsuyu, to an extent, can do it if she gets a good spot early on the enemy destroyer and can get a couple really big hits in before they know what happens. But ultimately, what I'm getting at is you have to pre-plan for these engagements. And as you can see, we've already run into one of the destroyers, and it is the other Isokaze, one of the other Isokazes on their team. Now, I'm not too worried about getting in a gunfight with a tier 4 Isokaze in my Isokaze. This is a 50-50 gunfight. He's not even focused on me. I am more worried about the other ships that are in the area, because I don't know what the other ships could have come this way. Like I said, this is a very popular destroyer hangout, and so there's another one that just popped up, and it is the Dertski. Okay, this is where things get dangerous, because the Dertski's gunplay is a heck of a lot better than Isokaze's is. Certainly a lot stronger. Now this Isokaze, we almost clip him. If I would have waited just a fraction of a second, we would have dead Isokaze. For me, our Dertski has launched his torpedoes. Our Dertski's engaging him with guns and takes him out. This leaves their Dertski there. Now, thankfully, we also have the support of a cruiser and a battleship over here, and there seems to be no enemies that have decided to come this way. So, my pre-planned, you saw how I kind of turned around in this little horseshoe here to get away from enemy ships. You'll notice that leaves the entire area to the southeast of here completely open, so that I am not spotted by anything that decides to come up this channel. And, looks like our friendly Dertski there is trying to clip my nose. Yeah, here comes the rest of his torpedoes. But, the thing with this is you really, you gotta pre-plan these escape routes, and you've gotta be positioned in such a way that you can take advantage of it. Here you can see, 3 shell hits, 1,600 damage. That's still a very large amount of damage for just HE gun hits. Cruisers, they land 1 or 2 hits, are gonna struggle to do that much damage with HE, and our torpedoes, looking good. If he kept going straight, he'd be, got him! Well, we didn't kill him, but we did manage to take off a huge chunk of his hit point pool. Now, you also notice that I'm playing right on the edge of my concealment, and that's by design. This Kuma, he is just over my concealment range. Remember, it's 5.9 kilometers. If you can't remember, it is on the minimap. It's that dashed blue line. Okay, now we're detected, and it is by that Kuma. And we want to launch torpedoes where we think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to hang out there too long. And this Dertsky is back. His guns aren't focused on me. We get shell hit in. Come on, guns, traverse. Alright, he's dead. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to their cap. One, because it puts this massive island between this Kuma and I. And two, because we've got a Kawachi and a Wyoming over here that seem to have nobody caring for them. It also looks like there's a Kaiser that's coming this way. And of course, we have to worry about that Kuma. Oop, turn. Ah! Kawachi's dispersion and Wyoming's dispersion is like a shotgun, and as a result, it's very, very easy to dodge. All you need to do is kick the rudder over at the right time. But anyway, you can see here, we know that that Kuma is coming into this cap. So what I've done is I've created distance, and I've put myself in a position where there's always going to be distance made between the Kuma and myself. We're going to go ahead and pop smoke, though, because, well, I don't really want to leave the cap, but with how close he is, with his torpedoes, with his hydro, if I remember correctly, Kuma has hydro, it is very short-ranged. We don't want to hang around too long near him, but we are going to try and engage him, and you can see here I sailed out of my smoke, which means I'm exposed. But, you know, the battleships that are over there that were shooting at me earlier, they're going to shoot at where I was, not where I was going, and they are going to miss. There we bracketed the Kuma. Yep, there's the Kawachi shells. Miss. Kuma is shooting at the cruiser behind me. No, not a good one. Oh, look. So now we've got a Kaiser, and I'm kind of trying to figure out which way he's going to go. Is he going to come around my way? Is he going to go around towards our Isokaze? Oh, our other destroyer was an Isokaze. Is he going to come around to the other side, and go the long way around this island here to our north? He's going to go around the long side to this. So we're going to use our stealth, and we are going to go ahead and set ourselves up for a very close ambush-style torpedo run. And to do this, we need to get as close as we can to that island without getting detected. Well, we just got detected by the Kaiser briefly, but not long enough for him to really pre-plan where we're going to be. This other Isokaze and I are in a good place to take advantage of his lack of attention. Oh, I get spotted by an Isokaze. And again, he's not paying attention to me. We got a lot of time before his guns can come to bear on me, so I'm not worried about it. This Dertsky. Oh, it's the Dertsky. Our Isokaze is way up north still. Okay. To do these attack runs, you know, his guns are obviously going to be focused on that Wyoming up there. Probably on that Dene as well. He's looking at other targets. He's not paying attention. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come out here. And we're going to launch torpedoes. You can see he's kind of remaining basically on course. Like, he's not making too many course changes. We're definitely pre-planning this. The Dertsky launches his torps. Now that spread looks good to me, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn away. We're going to get one. Yes. We got one and two. So we managed to take him out, and now we've got a Phoenix. Now, if you're not familiar with the Phoenix does have a really, really soft citadel. However, the AP on Isokaze will not penetrate it at these ranges. You'd have to get pretty damn close in order to penetrate him. And you'll notice there that, our Dertsky managed to launch the rest of his torps. I'm going to go ahead and launch my torps off this way in the hopes that I can take advantage of him. He is shooting at us most definitely. I am not popping my smoke yet, and there's a very good reason for that. I want to save it for when it's absolutely necessary. Okay, we've started him on fire. Hopefully we can bait out a repair. If our torpedoes hit, that means you're going to get a flood, but our torpedoes are going to miss. So now that our torpedoes are going to miss, I'm going to go ahead and pop that smoke, and we are going to start him on fire. And my dumb self turned the wrong way with this. I was so focused on what was going on that I forgot that you gotta turn to the left if you want to keep your guns on target to a target that is going to behind you. And when your guns are, you know, to the left side. Since he's going around behind the island, we're just gonna pop on back out here. Whoa! Hello, Isokaze. Those torps are gonna miss, thankfully. And now we're in a gunfight. Well, we're about to be in a torpedo fight, which I hope he loses. And, you know, you have guns, guys. In these situations where you're detected and it's impossibly close, use your guns. And there is a devastating strike. We killed off that Isokaze. He launched his torpedoes. And what we've got over here is we've got Kuma, a Wyoming, and a St. Louis. Now, the St. Louis, had I been paying attention, I would have realized right here that he was AFK, but we were so close to this Wyoming when we popped out, I couldn't help but come after him. And the key to engaging a battleship like this is don't go straight nose onto him. You want to give yourself as much time as possible so that when he shoots at you, you can kick the rudder over. And there you can see we're relying on his dispersion to kind of screw him. He slows down, so we'll go ahead and we'll launch our torpedoes, you know, at the front half of his ship. That way, if for whatever reason he were to speed up, we're still going to get some hits. And because he's parked himself, there's devastating strike 2. Now we need to get the heck out of Dodge. This Kuma is going to hurt, provided he could actually hit me. And so we got 2 devastating strikes, back-to-back kills there. And 56,117 damage. You can see that St. Louis isn't firing at me. Like I said, had I been paying attention, I would have launched torpedoes at the St. Louis and gotten a 4th kill right away. Instead, we're sitting here fighting with this Kuma, who is turning to launch torpedoes. And this is quite obvious, and not exactly a secret. And the key to avoiding incoming cruiser fire is the same as when you're charging a battleship. You've got the WAS and D keys, you know, use them. And use them to your advantage. I'm not engaging him, and the reason I'm not engaging him is because I know I can get away from him and drag him into other ships that can shoot at him. And this is another skill that there's his torpedoes, that Japanese destroyer captains really need to learn, because you've got to. I mean, there's no other way to really put that. Okay, so we're far enough away, we can go ahead and we can pop our smoke. He's blocking the cap, but that's fine. He's done a pretty good chunk of damage to us, especially since we were almost full health. But we'll go ahead and we'll engage him with our guns. We got torpedoes behind us, which are way behind us, and that's what his final turn there was about. And okay, so we're sitting in smoke. You do have a finite time on the smoke. However, I have no idea what that is because I don't have the smoke consumable anymore, and I don't have the mod that allows you to see that. Because he is backing up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to launch torpedoes well ahead, because that's where I thought he was going to end up being. And it's not a bad assumption. It's just I didn't anticipate him continuing to run into the island. But, you know, again, give yourself an out when you get into these situations, especially with smoke. Get yourself pointed in a direction where if you need to bail on the situation, you can. And as with the torpedoes, make sure to always put them where the ship is going to be, no matter which way they are. There you can see we started him on fire again. The guns on this ship are still very capable of starting fires, and now he is going down like a Viking funeral. There's Confederate trying to start his aft section on fire there. It's the only section not on fire. You can see had he not beached himself, he would have definitely eaten that torpedo. And yes, secured that last 4th kill. And this is what I was talking about. We could have gotten a crack in this match. Had I launched torpedoes at that St. Louis earlier, we could have gotten the Kraken. That St. Louis is just chilling there, and normally a St. Louis is a terrifying ship to go against if it's played right. It has so many guns. And so here we're going to issue a little bit of a, hey guys, you know, make sure to hang on up there. We're so close, we're going to win this one. All they have to do is really hang on. And we are going to engage the St. Louis with guns, especially since this other Isokaze is clearly going to get his torps off, and does get his torps off. We don't have the ability to stealth fire with the ship. That's fine. We don't need to. He's obviously AFK. If he comes back alive, it won't take much for me to go back into stealth. It will, however, take quite a decent amount of time for him to get up to speed. Okay, so here we're going to get some free farming damage in while we cap out this base. And, you know, again, when it comes to contesting caps, or however you want to word that, your goal should be primarily to harass and delay their capture until friendlies can arrive to help you. And that's really what makes these ships very strong, is when they're played with other ships. If you have the opportunity to play with a U.S. destroyer in a division, by all means do it, because it is so much fun to lop off huge sections of damage with these ships. And the Isokaze, even though she has such a long reload time, she too can even do that. And okay, so we got the end of the battle. And 67,413, 7 torpedo hits, 4 kills, 45 gun hits, a number of fires, 1330 base XP. You can see our fire damage across 5 fires was 10,000 some odd damage, and there's the credit screen. But anyway, Isokaze is a really fun ship to play still. Don't feel dismayed by the fact that she got hit with the Nerf bat pretty hard with the Japanese Destroyer split. It's still a fun ship to play. She was just brought back more in line. Anyway, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of the Isokaze when you guys played through it. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.